Am I the asshole for taking my mom's side and telling my wife that my mom did not verbally abuse her? My mom and my wife have never been close, but I don't think either of them have been in the wrong until this situation, they just don't click. My wife is really into making soap. She sells it on social media and recently quit her job to sell soap full-time. My mom has literally never said anything negative about the soap, but when she was asked to buy it she declined. My wife is like a dog with a bone, trying to get my mom to buy this soap. She asks her every time we see her, and when my mom declines, my wife starts listing the virtues of the soap and trying to force my mom to smell it. She has also brought my mom's finances into it and argued that my mom and stepdad both make good money, and speculated about how much my mom spends on her wardrobe, which really isn't our business. Well, my mom stopped by the other day to see the kids. Before she left she used our bathroom, and my wife stood outside the door yelling the whole time about how is the soap in there, and don't you like it. My mom came out looking pissed, and my wife immediately offered her a friends and family discount. My mom screamed, "I don't want your fucking soap. If you aren't making enough money from the soap that isn't my problem, and I don't want to hear about the fucking soap again," and then my mom left. My wife immediately asked what I was going to do and I said that I would talk to my mom, but my wife should have dropped it with the soap. My wife said that wasn't good enough and that my mom had committed verbal abuse. I replied that I don't consider that verbal abuse, and now my wife is very upset and feels like I'm taking my mom's side and that I should set boundaries with my mom, but I feel like my mom kind of set a boundary when she said she didn't want to buy the soap and my wife didn't give a fuck about that. Right. Well, your wife was verbally harassing her so she got what she deserved. Not the asshole, your wife needed to hear that. She's probably up all her friends' asses about her soap and driving them away too. Your wife needs to learn that no means no. It could be the best soap in the whole world but nobody is going to buy it from an annoying nag. YTA for not stopping your wife from harassing your mother over the soap earlier. Not the asshole for taking your mom's side though. Not the asshole. So your wife can make soap. She should learn how to sell it. Spoiler alert, it's not by irritating people into submission. If she sells it at a farmer's market, does she chase people screaming at them to buy soap? It is weird that your wife keeps pressuring your mum to buy the soap. The way she is acting is almost like she's part of a MLM company. Also, it is totally overstepping the line bringing your parents' finances into it. But I also find it bizarre your mother wouldn't buy any soap and support her business. I know she doesn't have to, but you'd think she would want to support her daughter-in-law. Info. Have you ever asked your mum if your wife was annoying her with all the soap pushing, or have you ever advised your wife to button it? If my boyfriend was behaving like your wife, I'd have told her she was making inappropriate comments when she was commenting on your mum's finances and asking inappropriate questions. Have you? If not, why didn't you say anything to your wife when you knew she was behaving badly? Not the asshole, your wife crossed the line by talking about your parents' finances and wardrobes. That's none of her business. If your mom doesn't wanna buy the soap, she doesn't wanna buy the soap. Case closed. You can't nag people relentlessly and then get upset when they finally snap. I understand promoting your business, but shouting at someone while they're in bathroom and then being surprised they didn't like it? Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Your wife crossed multiple lines here. Your mom had said no repeatedly. Your wife stood outside the bathroom door verbally assaulting your mom. I feel your mom was within her rights to lose her shit at that point. Your wife has no leg to stand in here. No means no. You are the asshole. Grow a spine. You should have been talked to your wife about this and set boundaries. You actually let your wife get to the point of her standing outside the bathroom door, while your mother is using the bathroom, yelling about her damn soap. SMH. You're going to have a long hard life. Your wife has no respect for you or your family and you seem to be perfectly fine with it. This story is crazy as fuck and you're acting as if it's perfectly normal. It's not. Not the asshole. Wife needs to respect that no thanks means no thanks. Mom does not owe it to her to buy her soap. Wife should have dropped it the first time, or maybe offered a gift of soap if she is so sure mom would be hooked on it. Not the asshole. Your wife was verbally harassing your mom and she kept crossing all sorts of boundaries. I'm surprised it took as long as it did for your mom to snap, but you should have spoken to your wife and told her to let it go the moment she started discussing their finances. Not the asshole, and neither is your mom. Your wife is the asshole for harassing her. You may be a bit for not asking your wife to back off before it reached this point, but you definitely aren't for taking your mom's side. Not the asshole. This is an argument that escalated. Verbal abuse is mostly when the screamings are unprompted, meant to humiliate and/or frequent. If someone annoys you, that you scream and then leave, that's not verbal abuse. Not the asshole. I hate when people purposely push someone's buttons and then play the victim when they get a reaction. It's so fucking manipulate. Your wife wants you to set boundaries with your mom. Okay. Neither of them are allowed to talk about soap with each other. Not the asshole. You need to talk to your wife about how she treats your mom. She's been harassing her. Your mom was overly nice until she couldn't keep it up anymore. Your wife is the aw. She needs to apologize to your mom and never bring up the soap again. You should have stopped your wife a long time ago. If you are the aw, it's because you didn't stop your wife sooner. You are the asshole for letting your wife continually harass your mother over what is probably pretty average soap. I would have blown up long before she did. Also, quitting your job to sell soap. A terrible mistake. I hope you can survive on your income alone. Not the asshole. Your wife was bugging her about the soap. Your mom did not want the soap. Your mom tried to handle things with grace for a while and then hit her limit with your wife's BS. Mom had a problem with the soap and limited her aggressive response to the soap. That's not verbal abuse. If she had called your wife worthless or trash for bothering her about the soap, that might qualify as verbal abuse. But she didn't. She limited her criticism to the topic at hand. If that's what qualifies as verbal abuse, your wife either has problems or needs a refresher on the definition of verbal abuse. Disagreeing with someone is not verbal abuse. Also, your wife needs to stop huffing her soaps. It's not doing wonders for her mental health. Not the asshole. Your wife has some serious boundary issues as well as entitlement issues. Somebody needs to tell her that you don't get new customers by harassing them and screaming at them about their finances. Not the asshole. Is your wife an MLM aficionado? Talk about harassment. I'm surprised that your mother is still visiting at your house after the constant harassment by her dill. My wife is like a dog with a bone, trying to get my mom to buy this soap. You are the asshole for not putting a stop to this sooner. That is not how to treat family. Or friends. Or total strangers. You and your wife should never attempt to force anyone to buy anything. As long as she's hounding your mother and you say nothing, you're complicit. Not the asshole. Your mom doesn't have to buy soap if she doesn't want to. And your wife should have dropped it instead of annoying your mom with it every time they saw each other. That wasn't verbal abuse, your mom just got annoyed and snapped. Which is understandable, considering that your wife didn't listen to her when she told her no normally. Just imagining myself trying to take a shit while someone is yelling at me through the door about some fucking soap. Everyone sucks here except your mom. Wife doesn't listen when people don't want her crap and you're not helping to establish boundaries between them at all. Not the asshole. Is your wife Jan Levinson? NTA. Your wife seems like a PETA. Not the asshole. I guess your wife expected to get some help financially, but if you see a person that doesn't look interested, then you don't pressure them into buying it. If she wants to talk about verbal abuse, talk to her about harassment. Because that's what she has been doing. Your mom was nice enough, you don't bother someone in the bathroom. Not the asshole. Your wife is pursuing her passion, great. However, she shouldn't be harassing someone to buy her soap. That's a terrible way to create a business. It doesn't matter if your mom has money, if she doesn't want the soap, why should she spend her money on it? I don't understand your wife's logic with that at all. Your wife should spend more time creating adverts online to reach more people instead of harassing one. Not the asshole. Expecting a well-off friend or family member to donate to whatever you're into is sometimes called counting other people's money, and it's bad manners. Is your wife of the mind that no really means yes? I feel your mom showed incredible restraint. I would have blown her out of the water a long time ago. Because she sounds annoying AF. And to be completely honest, if she really wanted your mom to try the soap, why didn't she just give her some for free? And then say, hey, if you like it, let me know and I can get you a great discount on it. If not, enjoy. You're not the asshole, but you will be if you don't put a stop to her badgering your mom. Not the asshole. Your wife sounds like an Pretty weird she is soap pushing. People have their preferences. I don't see why the big deal is if your moo didn't want to buy it. Standing outside the bathroom is just odd. Not the asshole for you and your mom. You are a slight asshole, because you should have stopped her wife sooner. Wife is the asshole here. She kept harassing mom and mom finally put a stop to it. Wife has no right to talk about mom finances, and mom is in no obligation to buy some crap from wife. You are the asshole for not stopping your wife sooner. But overall, NTA in this specific scenario. While your wife is at it, she could try to help people find investors for Jan's candles. Not the asshole. Your wife sounds like one of those hard sell people who turns everyone off. Too bad she thought it was okay to harass her own in-laws. She needs a reality check. Not the asshole. Oh my God. If your wife knows what verbal abuse is, does she know what verbal harassment is? Your wife needs a crash course on no meaning no. Info. Does your wife always try to shove allergenic crap up people's noses? Not the asshole. If someone other than my husband, or kids, was standing outside the door talking to me while I tried to use the bathroom, I would lose my shit. And when my hubs does try to talk to me when I'm in the bathroom, it's annoying, so I'm 100% with your mom here. Wife needs to chill. This whole thing is so weird. It's weird that your mom wouldn't just buy a bar of soap. It's weird that your wife has never just offered her a free bar to try. Is this soap gold-plated or something? It's weird that your wife is hounding your mom so obsessively. It's weird that you've let it escalate to this point. Yes, your wife is being obnoxious and your mom's reaction is warranted. That being said, to play devil's advocate, why didn't your mom just buy one bar of soap to support her in the beginning? I can't count the number of times I've bought tickets to a friend's play or concert or bought their cookbook just to support them, even if I'm not that interested in it and wouldn't otherwise buy it. You seriously dropped the ball by not intervening before it got to this point. Not the asshole for sticking up for your mom, but you are pretty late to the game. Your wife massively overstepped. Your wife is the asshole x100. That is so uncalled for. She's like a MLM on crack. Not the asshole. And I don't want to buy your wife's soaps, either. Not the asshole. And tell your wife she sounds like she's working for an MLM right now, only without even the explanation of the brainwashing most MLMs provide. Tell your wife to drop the soap. For one, this a terrible sales tactic. But that aside, your wife is the one who needs boundaries, not your mom. Your mom tried to be nice by saying no and nothing else. Your wife was the one harassing her. Not the asshole. Not the asshole, but your wife is. Your mom isn't obligated to buy her soap. She expressed no interest in it and declined multiple offers. Your wife took advantage of her relationship with your mother by insisting to the point of harassment that she try it. Ask your wife this question. Would she have been as insistent, or frankly, dogged, with a stranger to have them try the soap? My guess is she likely wouldn't, because harassing someone into submission isn't the best marketing strategy. Was your mother short with her? Yes. Was it deserved? Yes. Kudos to your mum for biting her tongue so long. Most people wouldn't have the strength to do it. Your mom didn't commit verbal abuse. She finally stood up for herself and pushed back after being constantly verbally abused by your wife over the soap. Your wife is the asshole here. Not the asshole. I feel really sorry for your mom here. She said no multiple times politely and then came over to visit the grandkids and family, needed to pee and got harassed through the door about soap. I'd have snapped too, although I probably would have snapped way before then. While the soaps that are handmade can be super pretty and some smell nice, I think they are more of a decoration thing. A lot of people aren't into that and your wife needs to respect that. Why does she feel that it is okay to heckle your mother specifically? Does she act this way to any other family members or friends that choose not to purchase her soaps? And would she act this way to a stranger browsing her stall? She was told no and needed to respect that. Not the asshole. For once an instance where dropping the soap would be a good thing. Not the asshole. You must have the patience of Job. Why don't you show this post to your wife? She may need an outside opinion. Not the asshole. Your wife was harassing your mom and got what she deserved in the end. Hopefully she learned not to push her products onto people. If she does this to other people she won't sell a single bar.